What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Mad Talk Sports episode number 31. Back again on YouTube, as always, now with your hosts, Joe and Drake. Um, yeah, let's get to it.
Episode 31. Thank you, everyone, for joining us back in for the second video podcast ever. And you might be catching us on Spotify still. But today, finally got a lot of football to talk. A lot of stuff has kind of happened. So we'll go through the general news to start. And there's a lot of new uniforms. If you haven't noticed yet, Drake, there's a lot this year. I think we've got like 9 to run through, and that would take a long time. So we'll do that in gas or pass later on today. We will have the next segment of our sequence of We've Got a List prepping for football. We are 50 days from football, so that's exciting. And then we do have a return of a fan favorite game to close us out. So football.
Well, episode number 31. Who's the player for episode 31? You skipped right over it.
Episode 31. The man, the myth, the legend, Al Harris. Oh, so
Nice.
yeah, dude, that's a deep cut. I love Al Harris, obviously, as a Packer fan. And most legendary moment of his career by far is in the playoffs against the Seahawks in overtime. Matt Hasselbeck, he had the infamous, like, we want the ball and we're going to score. And then 3 plays later, he threw the pick 6 to Al Harris. That was a playoff game. So that's, legendary game. In 5th grade basketball, I wore 31 because of Al Harris. And everyone was always like, ew, what are you doing? Like, why 31? And I'm like, Al Harris.
For 5th grade basketball.
One of the
Joe
first
Skursky,
jerseys
number
I ever
31.
had. Yep.
Number 31. Well, good story. 31. What a gross basketball number. What a gross football number. What a gross number.
Okay. Football number, come on. Adrian Amos looked nice in 31. I can't name
Nobody's looking nice in the number 31, Joe.
I like it. Leave it alone.
Yeah, you like weird numbers. But let's get to some single digit numbers. The running backs of the NFL.
Yeah, I guess some of those guys are wearing single digits nowadays, but so the deadline came and gone. It came and went. It's gone. As far as chances for running backs on that franchise tag to get extended, they will not get a long-term deal, and they're upset. And by they, it's Josh Jacobs, it's Saquon Barkley. Even paid running backs are chiming in, like Derrick Henry and Nick Chubb and Jonathan Taylor. So there's a lot of chirp going on.
One either.
Who didn't get one?
Pollard didn't get one either.
Pollard didn't get one.
Pollard.
And then obviously there's a lot of good running backs that remain unsigned. King of that list is Dalvin Cook. But after him, there's still Leonard Fournette. There's still Kareem Hunt. There's still Ezekiel Elliott. And I'm sure there's others who we're not even talking about because those are top 15 top running backs in the league that remain on the open market. Straight up, running backs are being disrespected.
And, the best guys want to be paid. Like Josh Jacobs, Saquon, and Tony Pollard, we both put those in our top 10 list when we did running backs a while back.
Yep.
Obviously, they're 3 of the best running backs in the league. Like you said, the best running backs in the league are chiming in as well.
Yep.
We heard from Le'Veon Bell, who, went through this whole thing as well. So, the best guys, they want to be paid. But we've seen what happens. Like, obviously, Zeke was a wild contract, but we see what happens when running backs want the bag. They don't get it. They get replaced. They get tagged.
Yep.
They get frustrated. I mean, I know I've mentioned on the podcast that the success, a lot of teams are like the last Super Bowl winners. All of them don't have one of these big paid, high money running backs. They don't have the best of the best. They have, Isaiah Pacheco. They have. I'm drawing a blank now. Yeah, Jerick McKinnon. Yep. Who was the running back? Right? Who was the running back for Darrell Henderson?
Darrell Henderson, yep.
For the Chiefs that year. Damian Williams.
He's nice.
So, like, they have good running backs that are cheap.
Yep.
And I don't know if So it's not like I'm saying I don't agree with the running backs for wanting to get paid because the best guys want to get paid. That's what we see that with all these contracts. We see that with the contracts, the best guys are getting paid, and running backs are getting the short end of the stick on that. They're not getting these wide receiver contracts that 32-year-old Odell Beckham Jr. and DeAndre Hopkins are getting.
Yeah.
So it sucks, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
At least for them.
Yeah. For the teams, it's great. For the running backs, it's terrible. And we've heard Austin Eckler be kind of like taking the guard as far as, taking up the mantle and running with it, with being the spokesman for NFL running backs and really how they're being undervalued and disrespected and how it's really unfair in a lot of ways. Like he talked about how third string receivers are making more than me and I impact the game more than a third string receiver does. Like this is simply wrong. And I get it because, us even growing up, it's not that long ago when running backs were king. You think of, like they weren't necessarily leading teams to Super Bowls, but they were leading teams to relevancy, like Adrian Peterson, LaDainian Tomlinson, Le'Veon Bell, Jamal Charles. There's a lot of great backs. Chris Johnson. But I think this is us being victim of two things. One, Todd Gurley. He started this because he was probably, perhaps, maybe the best offensive player in football that wasn't a quarterback when he was at his peak. It was him and AB.
Mm-hmm.
It was between those two. And Todd Gurley was so electric. The Rams gave him so much money, and then he fell off a cliff with injuries just so fast, and the Rams couldn't get out of his contract fast enough. So that was kind of like the first point to where teams started to think about it. That's when we started to hear about it. It's like, oh, why are you paying McCaffrey? And then you pay McCaffrey and he gets hurt 2 years in a row. So that's when we started to hear it. And then the flip side is the analytics crowd, because analytics tells you running backs aren't giving you as much value when you give them more money. They're giving you the best value of their entire career when they're on a rookie contract. And then after that, it's a bad investment. Obviously, there's examples where it's not true, like Derrick Henry. Aaron Jones is on a very nice team-friendly deal. So maybe that's the future, is that running backs are no longer premium to where they're making 18, 20 million per year. Maybe they've got to accept that a really good running back, you're going to make between 10 to 13 million per year if you want to get, long-term money, which it sucks. And I get it, but that's the market. The market is supply and demand, and the supply, at least right now, is greater than the demand for running backs. We just listed the guys that are still looking for work. So it's an unfortunate reality. It's not fair, but it is what it is. It's not like it's grounded in nonsense.
And, we listed successful teams with running backs who were paid $3-4 million, you
right.
know? So I agree that that's the market, and it is unfortunate, but I mean, you mentioned the contract thing, but even Zeke, like he got that big deal. He was very good. And then he became a touchdown, first down guy, and that was about it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it sucks, but the longevity of running backs just isn't worth $20 million.
Right.
$16 million, So
yep.
I agree with everything. But I understand completely the frustration by all the running backs across the league, everything, because, like I said, when you see contracts that these guys are getting and you're like, where's mine? Like, at least I think it still should be competitive, though, like they should still be paid well. I mean, obviously everyone in the league is paid well, not saying that, but when you look at it, it's a league-wide thing. They need to be paid well for the position they play and what they bring to the team. If you want to replace them, I guess, obviously for the team, the Giants would rather pay. I don't even know who their backup running back is. Honestly, that's how bad it is. But they'd rather pay a guy like Isaiah Pacheco $5 million than paid Saquon $20 million.
Yeah.
And Saquon's battled the injury bug his entire career. Like, he finally had a healthy season last year, and he played great last year. He did, but you play on the franchise tag. Like Le'Veon Bell even said he regrets everything he did, should have stayed, apologized, everything like that. So when you look at it, that is the market for running backs, because I think running backs are probably one of the most replaceable positions, because if you have a strong O-line, strong run scheme, you can put a lot of guys there that come out of college, you know?
Yep.
If the Dolphins wanted to get rid of Mozart and Jeff Wilson, I think they could be fine with David A-Chain, you know, on a rookie deal.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. It's tough because, again, there's always good running backs coming in, and running back is one of those positions that it's probably the easiest to scout because you can see vision, you can see ball carrying, you can see pass protection. Like, there's not a lot of ambiguity there. It's pretty straightforward. So, like, you're not going to struggle. But I do understand the flip side, because there are teams that go 10 years without running backs, like the Packers pretty much. Got 2 good years of Eddie Lacy, and then it was nothing before Aaron Jones finally, came of age and became, a top level guy. So there is still a lot of value for running backs, and I think it's going to take a team like the Browns with Nick Chubb, a high paid running back, or an elite running back. It's going to take a team of that caliber going to the Super Bowl. Now the Browns not going to do that, probably not. At least I'd say no, they're not going to do that, but it's going to take something like that, like Derrick Henry and the Titans. They got close. So, like, had they been able to get over the hump, maybe that's not a narrative now. Or the Niners with McCaffrey last year, maybe. However, those teams all have, at least traditionally, when they were good, you could pay your running back because you weren't paying your quarterback, and that's why you couldn't get over the hump. And that's the problem with the Giants, is they just paid Daniel Jones, which was a mistake in my opinion. And now because of that, you're at odds with the best player on your team. And it's not even like they were way off. The reports are telling us Giants were offering somewhere around like the mark of like a 3-year, $13 million per year deal. But all the guarantees were in the first 2 years. And then the third year was basically like, if you have any slippage, we can cut you, which was maybe have been the breaking point, while Saquon was looking for a 3 or 4 year deal where he's making more like $16 million per year. So it's not like they're way off, but goes back to that shelf life. The Giants don't want to pay Saquon for 3 years. I believe they know that they would hurt this year without him. Next year, would you? I don't know. 2 years down the line, I really don't know. So it's hard. It's going to take someone breaking the mold for things to change. Or obviously the running backs are talking. Maybe they do a group holdout. I don't know if that would work. But if the supply were ever to dip because people don't want to play running back anymore, like you stop seeing great college running backs, then could be a turning point. But as of right now, there's just too many, and teams would rather spend their money elsewhere.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't have anything to add to that.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's unfortunate. I wish these guys the best. Some of these guys are not in a position to hold out. Like, they probably could, but I don't think it'll end how they think it will.
I mean, I don't even know if, like, I don't know. It'd be like a Le'Veon Bell situation.
Yeah.
Saquon's got to play for the Giants. I mean, and I don't know about Josh Jacobs. I feel like that. I mean, even I was calling for it all year. Like, I think that should have been a breakup right there. I don't think he should have been with the Raiders. But
that's the thing too now,
we'll
is that even when running backs want to try to go somewhere else, there's no market. Austin Eckler asked to seek a trade, and no one was biting.
There he is.
Vikings wanted to trade Cook, but no one was coming to the table.
And like we had mentioned, they're still out there.
Right.
Leonard Fournette met with the Patriots. That could be a fine fit, playing behind Stevenson or with Stevenson, whatever they do there. But, you haven't heard anything about Delvin. Delvin maybe to the Dolphins, but the money wasn't right. The Dolphins don't have much to add there, much to give him. So I don't know. Running back is tough now, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. I mean, even Zeke wanted to take less money, reconstruct his contract to stay in Dallas, and you see where he's at now. So
On the couch.
yeah,
It's unfortunate. Yeah, I hope they find some way to figure things out and come to some sort of happy medium. I have no idea what that's going to look like. But let's pivot over here to some news from today. So, at long last, the Washington franchise that has had 3 different names in 4 years, they have been sold. Snyder is no longer the owner. Free at last. Free at last. Drake, what do you think?
I have no idea. We had this owner talk not too long ago. I didn't know absolutely anything about the Washington team's front office. I don't know who Snyder is, honestly. I did see that Magic Johnson is a part of the ownership now, or he was a part of the ownership.
Now.
Now, okay. That's about all I know from that
Okay.
whole situation. I seen all the name stuff. That's the only news I've seen about the Commanders is that someone sued them for their name or whatever it was or something.
Yep.
And
what a shame. You
I don't pay attention to the Commanders.
You don't what?
I don't pay attention to the Washington.
Yeah, no one does. And that's the problem for them is that they are aggressively mediocre. Like aggressively mediocre. If you look like past 10 years, past 20 years, past 30 years, they're always like 16th or 17th in the league in like every category. And it's nuts. But why is this matters is because I don't know how much you know about the Dan Snyder scandals. There are a lot of them, and there were new ones every year. And Alex Smith talked about this recently, and he said you couldn't help but talk about it in the locker room as far as what's going around or what's going on around the leadership and ownership of your team. And that sets a negative vibe. That seeps into the culture and just makes for a negative culture. And I do think that bad ownership can keep franchises bad for decades. Look at the Lions. Look at the Browns. That doesn't happen by accident. Think of how many GMs they had, how many quarterbacks they had, how many coaches they had. You can't fix a problem at the bottom if it starts at the top. So I don't know if this will be the solution, but at least it's something new. And I really hope they rebrand again. I don't like their name. It is incredibly boring. Big missed chance to do something interesting with their name. And I really hope they rebrand again because I remember I was excited to see what they came up with after football team. Good God, can't believe they were the football team for 2 years. But
I like the football team better than the Commanders, though. I'll tell you that one.
The jerseys are okay.
I think the Commanders' name is horrible.
Commander Carson. They did it for Wentz to have him for 8 games.
Yeah, ew, gross. I don't want to talk about Carson Wentz. He's on the couch too.
He is, yeah. Wonder if he'll get a job. But yeah, so we don't have to go too far into the Commanders, but I do think it's noteworthy that they sold. I'm hopeful for their fans that they can break out of this cycle of eternal slow death by 8-win seasons. So one can only hope for their sake, but they don't matter as
they don't have Heineke anymore, and Heineke's better than who? Sam Howell is their quarterback now.
Yes, they do have Brissett though.
Yeah, they have Brissett will start. Brissett will start for sure. But Heineke was the best thing out of Washington since RG3.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously,
Kirk Cousins.
Terry McLaurin, but Kirk Cousins, you like that?
You like that?
Speaking of, yes, not to get too far off topic, but I did start the quarterback show that you brought up last week, and my opinion on Kirk Cousins has changed. I do like him now. I think he's a very, very humble guy. Obviously, he's mediocre. He can be good. at times, but he's mediocre. But he's a very humble guy. And yeah, you like that.
You like that. I like it. I like Kirk. But let's move on here to some other news. Finally, again, we have something we've been waiting on. This one we haven't been waiting on for 20 years. We've been waiting on for 4 months. But DeAndre Hopkins has a new home. He chose the Tennessee Titans.
Oh God, the Tennessee Titans. Super Bowl contending team he wanted to go to, right? The Tennessee Titans. You choose Ryan Tannehill and you want to go to a Super Bowl contending team.
Maybe he can go back and say championship.
He was chasing the bag
in terms of AFC South champion, but that isn't even going to happen. So,
no, I mean, and everybody's saying it, but I'm getting Julio vibes. Andre Johnson, Randy Moss vibes, like even Robert Woods vibes, like. Yeah, like the Titans are actually where receivers go to die. And like I said, just imagine saying that you want to go to a championship contending team and you choose Ryan Tannehill to be your quarterback. A quarterback room of Ryan Tannehill, Malik Willis, and Will Levis is the quarterback room. Like, he wanted money. I don't think he cares at this point, and the Titans still won't make the playoffs. So I was very bummed about seeing that. That's not what I expected. He even said in the beginning, like, he has no interest, or the Titans had no interest in him.
And then he visited with them. And then he waited for 3 weeks, like, all right, guys, who's going to come get me? And everyone was probably like, yeah, 1 year, $5 million. He's like, huh, you see what Odell got? That's what I want.
Yeah.
And he got pretty close to it, honestly. So I don't want to overstate how bad the Titans are because, 2 years ago, they were the 1 seed. Obviously, they had A.J. Brown, and I personally we both do. We have A.J. Brown better than Hopkins, even if Madden doesn't. But I still think Hopkins is a very, very good receiver if he could stay healthy. And Derrick Henry's still there. If he could stay healthy, that's important. They do have a good O-line. Vrabel is a great coach. And Tannehill, when he's healthy,
Their defense isn't bad.
Okay.
Their defense is pretty good.
Isn't bad. So if for whatever reason the Jaguars slip, I could see the Titans going 9 wins and, competing with them. Jags are my pick for sure, but it's not like the Titans are the Colts or the Cardinals. So it's not like he chose the bottom barrel, but he just kind of went a little bit above that.
It's just Ryan Tannehill is very, very, very mid. And A.J. Brown was just so good after the catch. It was slants or little curls or, like he was just so good after the catch. And DeAndre Hopkins isn't that good after the catch at this point in his career. He's big play. He's still one of the best receivers in the league. Obviously, we had him on our top 10 list, but he's not A.J. Brown. Like, why do you let A.J. Brown go if you're going to turn around 2 years later and pay DeAndre Hopkins?
Yeah.
That's just what I'm not understanding.
Yep. And they spent a first-round pick on Treylon Burks in the middle year. Now, to be fair, the GM that traded A.J. Brown is gone. So
yeah, that part isn't really like that doesn't alter my opinion at all. It's just, considering A.J. Brown's talent-wise now, DeAndre Hopkins is not going to be that successful with Ryan Tannehill. Like, he was still one of the best receivers with Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray is better than Ryan Tannehill.
I agree.
But I think that drop off, obviously the rest of the team is better. I think it might help the Titans because they're not going to be able to stack the box with 8 guys for Derrick Henry. Like they're going to have to bring guys out into coverage.
Yeah.
So I guess I don't see it as absolutely awful, but Ryan Tannehill is just no go. And if he gets hurt, it's a wrap.
Yeah. So, it's not for them, it's a fine move. They're kind of stuck in no man's land. Like, you don't have a plan to get to be an elite team, and you're not too bad to where you're tanking for Caleb Williams. Like, they're stuck in the middle. So it's an okay deal. For them, it's fine. For Hopkins, it's a little disappointing. It's a little boring. Honestly, that's the biggest factor to me is that it's just boring.
I mean, it's fine for him too because he's going to make money, and I believe that's another state that doesn't have state taxes, so he's going to make good money.
Speaking of making good money, Drake, who did you guys pay?
My guy Alex Highsmith, what a 4-year, $68 million contract. Love it. I love it. I love Alex Highsmith. Now, Highsmith is a very, very, very underrated beast because he plays alongside TJ Watt. But the year he had last year when TJ Watt was out, now I'm not going to spoiler alert, I'm going to talk about him later, but not going to talk too much about him now, but I love it.
I mean, yeah, from obviously you know way more about Highsmith than I do. I'm fine with that deal. He had a nice season, and that's a reasonable price for an outside linebacker. If you're paying for what you think he can do, if he keeps doing what he just did or even gets a little bit better, that's going to be a discount in 2 years. In 2 years, he might be the guy who's saying, like, I'm underpaid. I should be paid this much, this much. So I don't mind the deal at all.
Yeah, I mean,
he's a beast as far as I can tell.
I don't mind it. I love it. I love the deal. I mean, I love it. I love it. Like I said, I'm going to talk about him later, but I love the deal.
Well, I'm glad that you're happy paying your linebackers. So let's stay on the
we keep our defense is just, like we take care of our defense. We stack our defense. That as much as, people want to call us like steadily mediocre, it's literally because we invest in our defense. That's what it is. Our defense is good every year, year in, year out. I'm happy with it.
Every year except for the killer bees.
When do you... Yeah, I mean, we weren't...
Yes, you were terrible.
We weren't great, but we weren't bad.
You were bad.
We were not.
You were bad. You gave up 42 to Blake Bortles to playoffs.
Well,
if that's not bad, I don't know what is.
How about the re-signings?
How about the re-signings?
One re-signing.
Yeah, you got the one re-signing, but now we got another re-signing. That's Evan Ingram re-upped with the Jags. That's another market that's starting to not take as big of a hit, but is starting to really kind of like come down to earth, and that's tight ends. The deal is very, very modest, especially after the year that he had. Personally, I'm glad they got the deal done. I think it's a good home for him with the Jags. They use him right. He's surrounded by other good weapons, and he's got Trevor Lawrence, who had a really nice end of the season last year and should continue to ascend. So I like the deal for Evan Ingram, even though he probably could have gotten more money elsewhere. I don't think he would be as productive for as long as he could be with the Jags. And for the Jags, you keep a very productive player at a very reasonable rate. So I think that's a win-win.
You like it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean, he's like, as I always say, he's fine.
He's fine.
He's not that great. Especially with, the Jags, he's going to be the fifth option there. Behind Ridley, Kirk, Zay Jones, Etienne. He's going to be the fifth option. I mean, it gives them a fine fifth option.
That's an awesome.
And it seems like he's not that good. Like let's be real. Let's pump the brakes on Evan Ingram. I don't know why you're so high on Evan Ingram right now.
I'm not so high on him.
Really not that good.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's like the fifth best tight end in football, but I'm saying if you go, Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, Etienne, and then Evan Ingram's your number 5 weapon. That's nice. I'd take that as my fifth option. And yeah, you don't want to pay your fifth option like whatever, especially if
it was very
mid.
It was slightly overpaid.
But You got to remember, how many years into Trevor Lawrence's career is he? 2. How many years of contractual control do the Jaguars have of him? 5, which means they have 3 more years of him on a rookie deal, which they can use that money to allocate to make their team better right now. Evan Ingram signed a what? A 3-year deal. When does that line up? When they'll need money. So, win-win.
No.
What do you mean no? Evan Ingram was nice last year. You got to at least admit that.
No, he wasn't. He was nice for the last 3 games. That's fine. Like, right. I mean, I guess developing a chemistry with your quarterback is big, especially a quarterback as good as Trevor Lawrence.
Fact check.
Go ahead.
Fact check. That's a nice year. 73 catches, 766 yards, 4 touchdowns. You'd obviously want more touchdowns, but
4 touchdowns, and he had what? Did he have? He had all 4 probably in the last half of the season.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just giving you the overall totals. Stats don't lie.
I mean,
sometimes they do.
I said it. I don't know if you remember the podcast with XP when you were enjoying Iceland, but I said it. He's a chain mover, so he gets a lot of yards, but he's not. He's a chain mover, and as a 5th option, okay, a chain mover, that's fine.
Okay,
but I said he was fine. I said he was fine. That was the very first words I said. He's fine. Slightly overpaid. Not that great.
Maybe.
Is what it is.
You can slightly overpay people when you're got a rookie quarterback or a rookie deal quarterback.
Yeah, but slightly overpay DeAndre Hopkins.
No. They slightly overpaid Christian Kirk instead.
That worked out for him. He had a good year last year.
He did. I'm not arguing.
And now he's going to be the 2nd option. Dude, that Jags team is just going to be so good.
Yeah, and they got a soft schedule too.
Yeah, I know.
And some of their hard games, or at least one of them, I think against Buffalo, they play in London, which to the Jags at this point is basically a home game. Since they're there every year. Duval.
I just think that, you know what? Let's not get off track about the Jags. The Evan Ingram one, like I said, he's fine. He's fine.
It's fine. Just fine.
I really don't think he's that good. Like, honestly.
I mean, I'm not saying he's a beast. Like, I don't even know if he's a top 10 tight end. But if you told me he's the 11th or 12th best, I believe you.
He's fine.
All right. Well, who's not fine? One, he's a beast, but he's also upset. That's Zach Martin. First of all, he became the first offensive guard to be rated 99 in Madden since 2003.
Dog.
That's 20 years. And 1, dog. 2, dog. 3, he should have been rated this 5 years ago. So this is a little, not too little too late necessarily, but you're late to the party. You're late. And the flip side of that, this beast, he is upset with his contract because he's not making money. Drake, you love the trenches. You love the O-lineman. Is he right?
Yeah, 100%. Joe, that he was my favorite player in the league probably a couple years ago. He's Quentin Nelson bumped them, but Zach Martin will always be one of my favorite O-line guard in the league. O-linemen need to be paid. This isn't a running back situation. You're not replacing Zach Martin. I'll tell you that one.
Nope.
So, again, like I said, the best guys want to be paid. Zach Martin's the best guard in football. He should be paid like a top 5 guard in football. Like, if he wants to take a top 5 guard contract, to be a team, team player, I guess. But he should be paid up there. Like I said, he's 12th to 15th paid highest offensive lineman. That's terrible. That's horrible. That's bad.
Yeah, I agree. And I have no qualms with any time an O-lineman wants to get paid, because they not only are they undervalued from a money standpoint, they don't get any attention. So you can't even give them the selling point of, oh, well, don't you want to be on a great team and get more endorsements? That's not how it works for O-linemen. Let's be real. So I have no problem with it. I get why the Cowboys aren't in a hurry, obviously, to repay him. They're trying to build a team for maybe a Super Bowl run with how open the NFC is. So I get it. But also, you got to take care of your best guys, especially because he's still got some good years left. And he's one of the best O linemen of the past decade.
And I mean, he like I said, he still is. I personally, I think he's still the best guard in the league. He is unarguably top 3, top 5 best guard in the league. So, I mean, like I said, you can't. The Cowboys aren't replacing Zach Martin. Like, you want to win a Super Bowl, the offensive line is like the Cowboys have been known for having good offensive lines. Like,
for 30 years,
needs to be paid. Zach Martin needs to be paid for sure.
I agree with that. I don't know if it'll happen or not this year, maybe next year, but we shall see. That about goes through our initial NFL talk. So now it's time for some games.
Game time.
So first, we talked early on. We got a lot of new unis in the NFL this year, and right now they're kind of just coming, bing bada boom, and we got like 10 listed here. So we got pump through them. So that's why we switch over to gas or pass. Otherwise, we'd be like, oh, what do you think of the Colts' new stripes? No, we don't do that. It's gas, it's fire, or it's pass. Put it back in the closet, burn it, do whatever with it. Just don't show it to us. So, Drake, one of the new ones, one of your favorite teams, the Cleveland Browns with the all white and the white helmet. Drake, gas or pass?
Now, I hate the Browns, but that uniform it's gas. It's so clean. Like, I love them. A lot of people don't like the all white stuff, but I like them. I love all white, especially they mesh well with that orange and brown. It just looks so sick. And the white helmet, clean. Gas, for sure.
I like it too. Gas. They need something like, flashy. It's hard to make something flashy when your colors are brown and orange. So I like that they were able to do it. Yeah, right. And, at first said, when I talked to him about it, is he said, you can't make a white helmet for the Browns. Their helmet is their logo, which I thought was a pretty funny take. So there's technically no logo on that jersey, which is interesting.
Sweet.
But yeah, I definitely like that jersey for sure. And
I've always said the Browns jerseys are so boring, and they're one of the worst in the league. But these white ones, if they were to make these white ones, need to be in their arsenal, and they need to use them.
I think they did say they're going to wear it at least twice. And then
I'll watch the Browns those 2 games. I'll tell you that.
I'll watch the Browns a good amount of games because I'm probably going to have either Chubb or Cooper in fantasy. So, probably. But one of the games, I'm pretty sure at least, one of the games they're debuting it in, they're playing the Seahawks, and the Seahawks are bringing back the 90s jerseys, and they did a whole release with their marketing team, it was awesome. I loved it. The video and the pictures and everybody. So they're bringing it back. They're they're running it back. They're, turning it back a page. Drake, how do you feel about the Seahawks jerseys?
So for this one, actually for all of the past ones I changed the word to trash because the ones that I put pass on are just so bad that I couldn't just pass them. Like, they're trash. So this Seahawks one is trash. Like, to me, they just look like a new Pro Bowl jersey. Like, that's what they look like to me. Like, that this would be the NFC's Pro Bowl jerseys. And you can't tell me I'm wrong. Silver helmets and that generic little blue, that's a Pro Bowl jersey. It's trash.
I can't disagree with you. Well, I'm going to disagree with you, Drake. Those are gas. Those are some of the best ones. Honestly, dude, I love throwback jerseys like that, bringing back the flash and the color. And I like that old gray. I do. I'm a huge fan of it. Honestly, You're tripping on this one, Drake. I can't agree with you. I know how you hate
Trash
blue
day.
like that.
Trash day.
Wow, no. Trash day has not come back yet. Wow, we disagree on one. It's a flavor. It's a game of flavors here. So that's fair. Obviously, we're not going to agree on all of these. Moving along.
It's really just the fact that when I've seen them, I just initially thought Pro Bowl jersey. That's just what I thought. So it just threw me off.
I did not have that thought. So another throwback, the Buccaneers bringing back the creamsicles.
Crisp, super gas. Love the color. Crisp jersey.
The Krispy Kremes. Gas.
Crisp.
I like them.
Gas for sure.
Yeah. You can't go wrong with those. They should have brought those back when they still had Brady, honestly.
Yeah, that'd be clean.
Yeah. So we're in agreement on one again. Man, we just got all the throwbacks going on right now. So let's go. I'm going to start this one. The Kelly Green Eagles. Let me just say, gas. I love the Kelly Green Eagles jerseys. Those have been missing for a long time. They should have brought those back a long time. They should have never stopped wearing them to begin with. I love those jerseys. So it's iconic. I remember Michael Vick wearing them in 2010. I remember if you've ever seen the movie Invincible with Mark Wahlberg, they wear those old Kelly Green jerseys, and Randall Cunningham and Reggie White. I love those jerseys. Gas.
Yeah, gas for sure. Yeah, I loved them back in what was that? 2010 they wore them. Probably the last time they wore them. That's super clean. Super clean. Love them. This next one, I want to start the next one. The Vikings 90s jerseys. This is the reason I changed the name to trash. These are so bad. We hate on the Vikings all the time, but these ones, terrible. The purple people eaters again.
Terrible, huh?
Trash. Pass. Trash. Can't even say pass because trash. They're bad. Okay. Randy Moss throwback. No.
Chris Carter.
No.
Dante Culpepper.
Trash.
All right. So to be fair to you, Drake, I think objectively, aesthetically, they're not great, but I do like them overall because of the nostalgia factor, which oftentimes, admittedly, I do with throwback jerseys.
Yeah.
So
you're so old. You're so old. You're just so throwback. Love it. No, these are terrible, Joe. They're so bad.
All right, Drake. They're not that bad. Come on. I can't rip on the Vikings every time I'm on here. Let's cut them some slack. However,
talk about something that matters then, like Kirk Cousins or Justin Jefferson, not these purple people eater jerseys.
They're wearing them week 1 too.
L. 2 L's. One for the jerseys, one because they're gonna lose.
Okay. All right. So you're talking about trash day. You know what needs to go straight in the trash? That Lions helmet. Oh my God. I said it when these came out. It looks like those doodles that they make rookies do of their logo. Garbage. Throw that away. I hate it.
I like the thought. I like the blue. I like the silver. But the logo, horrible.
I could draw
horrible. That. No, you couldn't.
That I could. That was just...
If they threw the actual logo on there, I think I'd probably like it. But the logo is what just threw me off. Because I like I said, I like the blue. I like the silver. But that logo was just Jesus.
It's the helmet that kills it for me. So yeah, that Lions alternate helmet just, oh my God.
Trash.
Now, another throwback. The Titans, they haven't showed the design yet, but it is confirmed that they are bringing back the Oilers jerseys.
and this is another throwback that I can say it's gas. If they get the design right, it's going to be so fire.
Yeah. I agree. I mean,
As long as
those,
I don't think they can mess it up, but
no, unless they try to get too cute. So yeah, I agree. Those are some of the greatest jerseys of all time, the Houston Oilers. So absolute gas there. There's no arguments. And now I'm really curious to see how we line up on like these next three. Let's start with one that we learned about a long time ago, and that's the Cardinals with a total revamp of their jerseys and helmets.
Arizona Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
Trash. Trash. To me, trash. Boring.
Change this to
the
gas.
whites look like the Niners. I just did, I mean, I don't know. For jerseys, I just feel like it meshed well. But the whites look like the Niners. The reds stink. I do like the black ones though. I like the black and red. But other than that, the big Arizona across the chest just looks like a basketball jersey.
I agree. Those are trash. I am not a fan.
But I do like the black ones. I will say that.
I know I'm trying to look at them now just in case I was overreacting to them, but they're trash, man.
No, I mean,
now
like
speaking
I said,
of trash,
the whites and the reds. Oh, go ahead.
Speaking of trash, Indiana Knights, the Colts new one. The potential's there, Drake. I see your look.
No.
I like the idea of black, but they should have leaned in way more than they did. To me, it fell flat.
Dude. No, those Colts uniforms are gas. They are
not.
They're clean.
I like the helmet.
Yes, they are.
I don't like the jersey.
Dude. Yeah,
they should have did a black
old school
jersey with blue
throwback.
numbers.
I mean, yeah, that'd be sick. Or a blue jersey with black numbers, but
anything but what they did.
I think it's sweet. Maybe it's the helmet that's really making it for me, but like
the helmet is
because I do agree the white numbers kind of throw it off, but I still think that the black helmet just makes the uniform just sick. I love the black and blue.
I like it too. I mean, I think they've been missing it for some time, but again, I just feel like they could have done way better. So they needed something because they objectively have the most boring jerseys in the league. White and blue. That's the list. So
I mean,
yeah, I'm glad they did something. You hate blue.
I love black, obviously. Yeah, well, because every team around the country thinks that blue needs to be their primary color, which it doesn't need to be. High school, pee-wee, college, NFL, semi-pro, Canada, blue does not need to be the primary color for football. It just doesn't. If it was more rare, I would like it.
I guess it's a primary color though. Like that's the way it goes. Now, this next one, I don't really know which ones you're talking about. Patriots jerseys?
Yeah, the Patriots red.
The ones they wore last year?
You didn't see the Patriot red jerseys? No, they just released the ones.
Like a new one, like different than this one?
Yeah, it's got blue on it.
Oh,
I think.
Pull it up. I want to see that. Because yeah, when you said you made some additions to the list, I was like, I saw Patriots red, and I'm like, Patriots red. But in general, seems like we mostly like these jerseys. You're really the pessimist when it comes to some of these jerseys. I can't believe you hate the Seahawks. I mean, good God.
The Seahawks one stinks.
No. It's probably the second best one. Nah, maybe not second best one. Third best one.
What are these? Are these the same ones they were last year? Because they posted it saying that the Reds return. Hold on.
I can't see anything on that.
I know. Let me see if I. There you go.
Yeah, those are the same. Yep.
Oh,
They wore those last year.
Well,
I
the
like
Patriots said the Reds return. They'll wear these throwback for 2 games in 2023.
I like those.
They tweeted that today. That's why I seen it. But
Got it.
I like them too. They're gas for sure.
All right. Well, now that we're done with Jersey talk, let's talk some real sports. And that means, Drake, what does that mean? We've got a list.
We've got a list. Top 10 outside linebackers today.
And you know what we call those, Drake?
Can't
in
wait.
homage to the greatest defensive player of all time, Lawrence Taylor. You know what he used to say? Let's go play like some crazed dogs. Outside linebackers are the crazed dogs.
Love it. Love the reference too. Love the quote.
One of my.
And as always, for We Got a List, quotes. I like it. But as always, we start from the bottom up, 10-1.
Yep.
I went first last week. Joe, who was at your number 10 for the Crazed Dog outside linebackers?
Now let's differentiate real quick outside linebacker versus defensive end, because, there's crossover in a lot of ways, but really the primary differentiators are, one, in a lot of ways, the scheme you play. If you're in a 3-4, sometimes defensive ends play outside linebacker because that's where they need to line up to be on the edge. But also, it's the ability to be in coverage on a consistent basis. Not 50-50. It's not what I'm saying, but 10% of the time, 20%, depending on your scheme, on your team, on your player. So that is the difference between our crazed dogs here versus when we get to defensive ends in the next couple of weeks. So to get us kicked off, number 10, Chandler Jones.
Good pick. Just missed the cut for me, though. He's on my jumble list, but number 10, I've probably never ranked him this low. Obviously, it's down on the end of his career or whatever, but he's still playing very productive football. Still one of the best outside linebackers in the league, but number 10 is where I got Von Miller.
Wow. That's like my Bobby Wagner pick last week.
Yeah.
I mean,
he doesn't stay healthy ever.
Yeah.
It's always hurt.
Speaking of always hurt, my number 9, Khalil Mack, always hurt, but a great player.
It's a good pick. He missed the cut for me too.
Oh boy, we're gonna have some disagreements today. Here comes
Definitely,
Highsmith at like 3.
Because you sleep. But number 9, Bradley Chubb.
Yeah. Dog. Underperforming dog, though. That's my thing with Bradley Chubb.
I think for the Broncos he did. I think he played well for the Dolphins, and I think he's going to have a good year this year.
Maybe he will. That's fair. I hope he does. He's got all the talent.
Definitely. He definitely underperforming for sure with the Broncos towards the last couple years. I agree, but I still think he's number 9.
He might eat on the Dolphins this year, so that's very reasonable. Who you got just edging him out at number 8?
Number 8, Preston Smith.
Wow.
Dog.
Good like player. That. Wow. He did not make my list.
Wow.
He's not the best outside linebacker on our team.
No?
Unless you're trying to consider. No, we'll get there.
Okay. All right.
Preston at 8, huh? Okay. I like the respect. Number 8 is where I got the other half of Preston Smith in the past, the rest of the Smith bros, the Super Smith bros, and that's where I got Zadarius Smith. Still a very great player. He's got some locker room problems, it seems like now, but great player nonetheless.
You got him at 8?
Yeah.
Who do you got at 7?
Just edging him out at number 7 is where I've got Josh Allen, not the quarterback. Josh Allen, the outside linebacker for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay. So I would have put him there, but I considered him a D end. So I will have him on my list next week or whenever we do them.
Huh? Well, that's what we get for having some gray area here.
I mean,
we want to say all these names.
Yeah, it's a position, you know. It's one big position, but it's two different positions. It's weird. Number 7 is where I put Zadarius Smith. So I got the Smiths at 7 and 8.
I respect it.
They're dogs for sure.
Yeah.
And number 6,
both are.
I wanted to put him top 5 because it's my guy, but Alex Highsmith I got at number 6. 14 and a half sacks and the lead, leading 5 forced fumbles without TJ Watt.
Yeah, I hear you. And it was really hard for me to not put him on my list, Drake. It really was. And in a lot of ways, it's probably because, like, you know, some of the guys I'm listing here, you were listing at the end. So that might be part of it too.
It's also probably because, you know, you don't really watch the Steelers like I do.
Yeah, that's fair.
And he's not a big name guy. He doesn't get the coverage, but he had an amazing year. He was leading the league in sacks for the longest time, probably up until like week 13 or 14. And again, he was drawing the double teams that TJ would have drawn. I'm excited to see what he can do this year with TJ back on the field, not getting those double teams. So, number 6, Alex Highsmith.
Number 6. Okay. Way to hold some restraint and not put 2 Steelers in your top 5. Number 6.
I wanted to.
I know you did. Number 6. You might be considering this guy an end. I'm not sure, but this is where I landed Rashawn Gary. Yeah, did you?
Him an end. Yep. But I respect it. I mean, good player. I would have put him there. He is a linebacker though, isn't he?
He's listed, but
that's
if you just watched him, you would think end.
Yeah. Okay. So that's probably why I put Preston over him. But
yeah. Because Preston does cover a lot.
Yeah. If you're going to consider him outside linebacker, then I think you have him in a very good spot for sure.
So now let's get into our top 5, ladies and gentlemen. And now I got to revisit someone that, Drake, you disrespected. Number 5, Von Miller. Yes, he can't stay healthy. I get it. However, it was but 2 Super Bowls ago that he changed the tone of the game for the eventual Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams. His big game performances across his career obviously speak for themselves. When he was on the Broncos, obviously we all know he was an all-time great at his position. And he had a really strong start for the Bills. So I'm expecting him to come back strong from injury. So number 5, I know it's high. I've got Von.
He's going to come back strong for the first couple games, and then he'll be sitting. It's fine. I mean, you know, he hasn't had 10 sacks since 2018.
Probably hasn't played 10 games since 2018.
So how can you put him top 5? A guy that you won't put on the field because he can't stay healthy. That's the only reason I'd locked him at 10.
Let's see. Of everyone on this list in my top 10, I think the only one with rings is Von Miller. And unlike most defensive players who win rings, he was pivotal in both of them.
He had Peyton Manning and he had Matthew Stafford.
Peyton Manning was terrible that year.
Peyton Manning won them the Super Bowl.
He did not.
Well, anyways, so that was your number 5?
Yep.
Do you want me to go 5 or do you want to go 4?
You should go 5 because I just said mine.
Oh yeah. Well, usually we do 2 at once. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So now you got 5 and 4.
Okay. All right. Snake. Got it. Well, number 5, Harold Landry for the Tennessee Titans.
I was probably sleeping on him, in all honesty. It's a good spot. I don't know if I'd have him that high, but he's a top 10 guy.
Yeah, I mean,
all right.
Not on your list?
No.
Dude, he had 12 sacks and like 90 tackles.
I know. I would have had him at like 5 probably. Tough.
That's where I've got him.
So it goes. Who you got it for?
Matthew Judon. Number 4.
Dog.
And he looks so dog-like in that red uniform.
The red sleeves.
The red sleeves. And when they put the red uniform on, he's all redded out.
And he's probably
going to get
red.
4 sacks that game.
Yeah, for real. Good spot for him. Number 4 is where I've got Hassan Reddick.
Okay.
Linebacker?
Yep.
Okay. I thought he was a clear one. And then just edging him out, number 3, Matthew Judon. I'm a big Judon guy. I think he impacts the game a lot.
Okay. So Judon's in your 3. Hassan Reddick's at your 4.
Yep.
Judon's at my 4. Hassan Reddick's at my 3.
Respect.
So
for the single digits linebackers.
Yeah, I mean, it's just they're both dogs. I like Hassan Reddick a little more. He's just a beast.
I mean, neither of us are sleeping on either of them.
No, definitely. I think either of them, those spots are good. He had 16 sacks last year, so Hassan did. So, dog. And you drafted him in our Super Bowl draft, and I should have picked him.
You should have. That's probably why I won.
Should have.
You got your chance at revenge later on.
Probably. Oh, you spoiled it. Anyways, number 2 is where I have Micah Parsons.
Shocker.
You know, right?
Such a homer. Such a homer, Drake. I can't believe you. The lack of accountability, credibility, objectivity. I have Micah Parsons at 2.
Exactly. And number 1, who's not ranked number 1 on Madden, which is very disrespectful, is TJ Watt.
Yeah. I did go back and forth.
That's a 99. He's a 99. He's a 94.
All right. I have to admit, there was a toss-up between the two, but then I really thought about it, and I'm like, dude, TJ Watt equals wins. Like,
exactly.
Parsons can do more as a linebacker, but TJ Watt can affect the game more.
Parsons is more athletic, for sure. But TJ Watt changes the game. TJ Watt gets to the quarterback. TJ Watt stops the run game. Micah Parsons is all over the field. I can't take anything away from him. Like I said, he's number 2. But TJ Watt's ability to be the best player on the field at all times is just number 1. So what's your list?
So, and sorry, my connection's a little bit spotty right now for some reason. But
Yeah, you went down for a
my
minute there.
list from I lost you too, but I'm back, kind of a little laggy.
A
But
little
my
choppy.
top 10 from top down, still choppy.
Yep. Just a little bit.
Well, that ain't great.
Joe's got the weak Wi-Fi.
Still choppy.
No, you're good now.
Apparently.
Still choppy.
Hmm.
Sorry for this delay, but Joe's got Spectrum.
That's accurate. What is going on?
Well,
Let's see.
wait, you're good now.
I'm good now.
You're good now.
Kind of.
Kind of. You're good. You're good. You're good. Go. Top 10 list.
Go.
Outside linebackers. Go.
Top 10 list of the Crazed Dogs. Number 10, Chandler Jones. Number 9, Khalil Mack. Number 8, Zadarius Smith. 7, Josh Allen. 6, Rashawn Gary. 5, Von Miller. 4, Hassan Reddick. 3, Matt Judon. 2, Micah Parsons. And number 1, TJ Watt.
TJ Watt for the win. And I've got 10, Von Miller. 9, Bradley Chubb. 8, Preston Smith. 7, Zadarius Smith. 6, Alex Highsmith. 5, Harold Landry. 4, Matthew Judon. 3, Hassan Reddick. 2, Micah Parsons. And 1, the 99 overall that should be on Madden, best linebacker in the league, outside linebacker in the league, is TJ Watt. Period.
Dog. Way to be humble.
And now, for the next game, the last game of the episode, returning segment, as Joe said, fan favorite. Everybody loves these. I love them. We've got draft day. Draft day. And you might have watched
Draft day.
months ago, a couple months ago, probably month ago, 2 ago. We drafted the AFC North. My team was the clear winner on that. But Joe went first that draft for the AFC North, so I get to go first this draft for the AFC West. Now, Joe, this pick might surprise you, right? But I'm going strictly for my team here. My first pick, I'm taking Davante Adams.
What?
First pick, Davante Adams.
And I'm going to thank you and take Patrick Mahomes.
That's fine, because you know what? My second pick, I'm going to take Travis Kelce. Now I've got Davante Adams and Travis Kelce. I've got 2 of the best 3 players in the division. And you got Patrick Mahomes, and that's fine.
All right. Well, can't argue.
Because I know you wanted one of them. You knew I was going to take Mahomes, and you either wanted to take Kelce or you wanted to take Davante. You probably would have taken Davante. But guess what? I took Davante from you.
Well, what was I supposed to be like? Oh, you got Davante. Now, he's going to take Kelce. Let me take Kelce. And then you get Davante and Mahomes. You boxed me in. I'm going to go with, we're still going coaches. Give me Andy Reid.
Okay.
I
really wasn't expecting you to do that. But if you're going Andy Reid, quarterback, I got to go with the other Raider, the guy who's going to hold out. Hopefully not. But I'm going to go with Josh Jacobs at my running back position.
That's That's fair. And I got to start getting some pass catchers up in here. So I'm going to give me Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen. Good pick. So before you steal anybody, let me just go ahead and lock down the defense and take the Broncos.
It's a good pick. Good pick. All right. Well,
Pat Surtain.
Yeah, Pat Surtain. Yep, good pick. So I got to keep getting some weapons. Give me Mike Williams.
Okay, you took both of them. All right. Like it. Got the receiving core for the Chargers. So I might as well take the quarterback for the Chargers. And leading my team is Justin Herbert.
It's a good spot for him, and you can't go wrong. So I'll also finish pillaging of the Chargers' resources and take Austin Eckler.
You got the Chargers. Nice.
The Chargers. You
don't want anybody from the Broncos?
Reed.
You don't want the Broncos?
Eh.
And I'm gonna take, this is you went very early last draft, and you stole the Browns O-line from me. I got to take the Chiefs O-line.
Ouch. All right. Okay. I'm gonna take my kicker now, and I'm gonna take Daniel Carlson.
Okay. See, I was gonna go him, but I didn't.
That is what happened, Drake.
So head coach wise, you got to go with the second best head coach in the division. You got to take Sean Payton.
Yeah. You can't go wrong there. Man. Okay. Defense, I'm going to go with give me the Chiefs defense.
Chiefs defense, not bad. So I need another receiver.
Yeah.
Which one of these guys is better? One of them scored a touchdown in a Super Bowl. The other one's probably a better player.
So Sky Moore and MVS? Or Judy?
No. Jerry Judy or Kadarius Toney.
You
know what? Nah. I'll take Jerry Judy.
Yeah, it's good value at that round.
Yeah, man. I mean, I actually think Kadarius Toney's going to have a good year this year. As long as he can stay healthy.
Can I draft him as my tight end?
You don't have
a stink. Give me
Might as well round out the Chargers. Yeah, let's go. Joe's got the Chargers.
Oh my God. Yep.
I guess that leaves me with a kicker.
Oh.
So gotta go Harrison Butker, right?
Yeah. And then I got to round out my team, and I'm going to take the Broncos O-line, assuming that hopefully that their new additions make them a better O-line. But that's who I got to go since you took the best one.
That center that they have that was from Whitewater, he's pretty good. And he always wears his stomach out, like I used to. He's pretty good.
Is that why you think he's going to be good?
Yeah, I mean, What defense did you take? The Chiefs? Obviously.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, we drafted Chargers, Chiefs, and that's it, really. No Broncos players. Russ got no love.
I mean, Russ had no chance of getting taken, but I thought Judy would have gotten taken over Tony. I got the Broncos O-line.
Yeah, true. I did take Jerry Judy.
Oh, that's right. So yeah, quit
Yeah,
hating. Right, let's hear your team,
I
Drake.
guess so. So, leading my team at quarterback, we've got Justin Herbert. In the backfield, running behind the Chiefs O-line, we've got Josh Jacobs. Out wide, we've got Devontae Adams and Jerry Judy. Rounding out the middle, we've got Travis Kelce, the best tight end in the league, maybe the best tight end in history. Kicking off, we've got Harrison Butker. Playing defense, we've got the Broncos, all rounded out by the head coach, Sean Payton, who's going to turn the Broncos organization around.
So are you the Broncos?
Yeah.
Is that your organization here?
Yeah.
All right, now let's hear Drake's opponent that's going to mop the floor with him. Leading him out the tunnel, Cheeseburger Andy himself, Andy Reid, the head coach, one of the greatest of all time. And behind him is running the young, the unheralded Chiefs defense that is only going to get better with more maturity and age. And you can't forget the greatest quarterback in the NFL today, Patrick Mahomes. What does he have at his disposal today? He has in the backfield the fantasy god, Austin Eckler, who will not only run for 1,000 yards and probably 200 of them against Drake, he will catch for like 800 and he will be a touchdown machine. And if that isn't enough, out wide, each side, Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, the unrivaled chemistry of top two receivers. And wait, there's more. Throw in a tight end, Gerald Everett, who also is okay, but has the chemistry with the guys out wide. And then the new and improved big boys up front, headed by Mike McGlinchey, the Broncos O-line. And then when we need
Your
a
team
field
is
goal
terrible.
at some point, Daniel Carlson.
Yeah, because that's all you're going to score is a field goal.
You're tripping.
It's a good team. It's just the Chargers.
Huh?
It's just the Chargers.
Chargers
with
plus
Mahomes, with the Chiefs. Yeah, and Andy Reid. And a good kicker. I mean, you have a good team.
Yeah, I think where I'm going to hurt is you've just got the two best pass catchers.
Yeah. See, could have drafted Mahomes, but Devontae was a smarter play. Makes my team better too. Because I still got value with Justin Herbert.
You drafted it like
the next Patrick
team.
Mahomes. I did.
You're like, let me go get my receivers and get a quarterback later.
I'm in my fantasy mode.
It is about that time. We got to get some content for that coming up. But with the conclusion of the draft, that wraps up episode 31.
That's all we've got.
Honestly, we had the connection issues. Al Harris was breaking up the connection, breaking up passes, breaking up connection.
Joe back at it again with the dad jokes. Who else would it be? But
who else but me?
That is a wrap for episode 31. A month long of episodes. 31.
Yeah, this could have been the Halloween episode.
Could have, but instead it was the who?
Oh, don't who. Al Harris.
I know. Sorry. He's just, irrelevant.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. But if you enjoyed episode 31 on YouTube, you can only check out episode 30 and 31 now. But you can go on Spotify to check out 1 through 29 and 30 and 31. So you can check both out. If you're listening in your car, go to Spotify. If you're chilling at work, because Mad Talk Sports is more important than work, honestly.
And then don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Mad Talk Sports. Check out the videos and the graphics that we have there. And don't be afraid to share your thoughts with us on what you want to hear next week.